You know what's wild? We're living in the future. We've got AI that can write essays, generate art, and hold conversations. But somehow, we've managed to bring one of humanity's oldest problems along for the ride: sexism. I'm serious. Ask an AI image generator for a doctor and watch what happens. Ask for a CEO. Ask for literally any prompt that includes a person or a professional. Spoiler alert, you're probably getting a dude. Today we're talking about the patriarchy of AI, and trust me, this rabbit hole goes deep. So here's what's happening. You open up your favorite AI image generator, doesn't matter which one, and you type something totally neutral: a person cooking, someone working on a computer, a scientist in a lab, and what do you get back? Men, over and over again. Men. Now, you might think, okay, maybe it's just random chance, but it's not. Studies have shown that major AI image generators consistently default to male representations, especially for professional roles. When researchers tested prompts like a person with no other context, the results skewed heavily male, sometimes up to 70 or 80%. And it gets worse when you add professions. Ask for executives, engineers, doctors, almost always men. Ask for nurses, teachers, secretaries. Suddenly the AI remembers women exist. This isn't a bug, it's a feature that reflects decades, centuries really, of human bias, baked right into the training data. Here's the thing about AI. It's not actually intelligent in the way we think about intelligence. It's more like a really sophisticated pattern-matching machine. These models are trained on absolutely massive data sets, billions of images and text scraped from the internet. And what's on the internet? Everything humans have ever created and uploaded, which means all of our biases, stereotypes, and historical inequalities are right there in the training data. For centuries, white men dominated public life, professional photography, historical records, and media representation. When AI trains on this data, it learns that default human equals male, especially in positions of authority and expertise. There's also a pipeline problem. The teams building these AI systems are overwhelmingly male, particularly in leadership positions. When you don't have diverse perspectives in the room where these systems are designed, you're less likely to catch these biases before they ship. And let's be real, the tech industry has a well-documented gender problem. Women make up a tiny percentage of AI researchers and engineers, so the people who might immediately notice, hey, why does this keep generating men, often aren't in the room. You might be thinking, okay, but does this actually matter? It's just pictures. But here's why it's not just pictures. These AI systems are shaping how we see the world. They're being used in education, in advertising, in media production. Kids are growing up with AI-generated content, and if that content consistently shows men as the default, as the professionals, as the leaders that shapes expectations, this is representation, and representation matters. When young girls only see men depicted as scientists and engineers, it reinforces the idea that those fields aren't for them. When we normalize male as the default setting for human, we're literally erasing half the population. And it's not just about gender. These same biases show up with race, age, body type, and disability. AI systems have a documented tendency to generate images that are whiter, younger, and more conventionally attractive than the actual diversity of humanity. We're essentially automating discrimination at scale. The good news, people are noticing, and some things are changing, slowly. AI companies are starting to implement guardrails. Some systems now try to balance gender representation when you ask for generic humans. OpenAI, Midjourney, and others have made efforts to diversify their outputs. But here's the problem with overcorrection. It can feel forced and still misses the point. If you ask for a 1920s businessman and get an image that's historically inaccurate, that's not solving bias, that's just creating different problems. What really needs to happen is more fundamental. We need diverse training data, diverse teams building these systems, and transparency about how these models work and what biases they contain. Some researchers are working on unbiasing techniques, ways to identify and reduce bias in training data and model outputs. But it's tricky because you have to decide what unbiased even means, and those decisions are themselves subjective. So what can you do about this? First, be specific in your prompts. If you want diverse representation, Ask for it. A female engineer, a black doctor, a non-binary artist. It shouldn't be necessary, but right now, it often is. Second, call it out. When you notice bias in AI outputs, report it. Give feedback. Most platforms have ways to flag problematic results. The more data companies get about these issues, the more pressure there is to fix them. Third, support diverse creators and technologists. Follow women in AI. Amplify voices of people from underrepresented groups who are working on these problems. And finally, stay critical. Don't just accept AI outputs as neutral or objective. These systems reflect human choices and human biases. Question them. Look, AI is an incredible tool, but it's just that, a tool. And like any tool humans create, it carries our fingerprints, including our worst instincts. The patriarchy of AI isn't inevitable. It's a choice we're making, collectively, every time we train a model on biased data. Every time we ship a product without diverse perspectives, every time we accept male as default is good enough. We can do better. We have to do better. Because the AI systems we build today are shaping the world tomorrow. And I don't know about you, but I'd like that world to actually include all of us. By the way, all the images in this video were added by the image generator in the AI tool, by it reading the script. I changed styles a couple of times and added the real charts with published statistics. Let me know in the comments about your experiences with AI bias. I know I'm not the only one noticing this stuff. And if this video made you think, hit that like button and subscribe for more content about technology, society, and where women fit. This is my old ass journey. Thanks for watching.